Okay. So what I did yesterday, I have given you the sample examples, and those sample examples like this as a problem statement. Here also I have given you the link for the online compilers. Either you may use the first link or the second link. It is totally depend on you. And these three problem statement which we have implemented yesterday. Hope is it visible to you? Yes, is screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. On the next line, let's say the solution. Here I have written the first problem statement. Implement a program to display welcome message. And the solution, if you check here, one dot program. So the solution, I have given the heading as solution, and the program is written here and the output. Similarly for second, doing the addition of the program. See, we have taken two variables A and B, and the result of A plus B is stored here in the C variable, and the program is like this, and output of this program. Similarly, by using the cin function, right, taking input from the user. Okay, so for this, I have written this program, and here is the output. So these slides are uploaded in your teaching material. Okay, for your reference. It is just for your reference. Don't copy it and paste it in the browser. Okay, for implementation. Okay, now I hope everyone is here on the screen. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Basically, we forgot. We have started with a question. Okay, and the disturbance came. So what was the question? Question was, what is the structure of C program, C++ program? See, you are having first is what your preprocessor directive. Okay. Before that, you make comment. You may use the comment. If you wish to give a single line comment, then only thing you need to give as this double slash. This is used for single line comment. If you wish to write like this way, your name, sorry, your roll number, as like yesterday we have finalized the format, roll number, and next line, the program, the name of program which is implemented. Okay, and something like this. And now if there are more than one line, then you should be included in the slash star and star slash. So this part we called it as a multi-line comment. Preprocessor directive च्या आधी दोन टाइपच्या कमेंट्स आपण यूज करू शकतो टू गिव्ह मोर इन्फॉर्मेशन फॉर द रिव्ह्यूअर जो तुमचा कोड चेक करणार आहे किंवा तुम्हाला जर परत तुमचा इफ यू विश टू चेक युअर कोड अगेन सो विथ दिस टाइटल्स easily you can come to know like, oh, this is there in the program, oh, this is a addition program, this is subtraction, this is related with arithmetic operators or logical operators or relational operators. Okay, so for this you should give the comments before starting writing the code. Okay, so this is what header part, and it must be included in the either this single line comment or multi-line comments. Okay, it depends totally. Now after that we are having the preprocessor directive. Okay, preprocessor directive is used to give the details to the compiler when it start compiling. There are some inbuilt functionalities like C in C out function, and based on if you have not written the preprocessor directive and you have directly started with the main function, it may happens the when compiler start its like compilation process, it will not found the definition of your cout and cin function. Okay, to get know to the compiler, we should write a preprocessor directive and appropriate library files or the header files. Okay, and so what are those? Here basically we are using, yes, iostream. Okay, iostream as a header file. After preprocessor directive we are having. Yes. Next step is what? Declaration of function, main function. How to declare main function? Return type, then the name of function, and open and close round brackets. So I will move to that slide. Okay, return type, the name of function, and here open and close round brackets. You have a void return type which will not return anything, but apart from void, if you use the integer or any other type, so you need to use, yes, you need to use return keyword in the body of main function. Okay, and this, sorry, this open and close round brackets, it includes either parameterized or arguments, or it is without arguments. So if you check, this is a type of function which will not return anything and which don't have any arguments. Okay, this is what we called it as a function declaration. And the body of function includes with open and close curly brackets. And the body of function, it will includes, yes, declaration of the variable, or you can say the identifiers, then execution like implementation of the arithmetics or the logical expressions, and displaying the output. Okay, so this is what basic structure of a C++ program. Okay, so have you understood up to this point? Hello.
Yes.
Okay, now we'll move to next. Okay, so today it's just kind of a revision, because you already know what is identifier, what are the variables, what are the operators. Okay, so we are looking now one by one identifiers. So yesterday also we have discussed on this. Yes, identifiers are nothing but the names given to the variable or the function or the arrays or the structure or a union. The concept we have gone through, or you can say the pointers. It is nothing but a name given to the variable or the function or the array or the structure or union. Today or might be tomorrow we are going to see enumerators. This is one of the type. Okay, if you have seen these arrays, pointers are we call it as a system defined types, and this structure, union, these are what a user defined type. So user can define the name of structure or the name of union. Similarly, we are having enumerators. Short form is enum, enum. Okay, which is also a user defined type. Okay, if we get a time, we'll execute it by today or at max by tomorrow. We will see that enum operator. Okay, but identifiers म्हणजे तुम्ही काय लक्षात ठेवणार की names. Identifier is nothing but names. Now for which we are giving the name, we are giving name to the variables, we are giving name to the function or the methods or arrays. We are having the pointer concept, we are having the structure and the union concept. Okay, for all those we are using some names, and those names we call it as identifiers. Now there are certain rules. There are certain rules to write identifiers in the programming language. So the very basic rule, every identifier or the name should be written in the lowercase. There is one more rule for this. It will not be start with number. Okay, have you remember this? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Identifier will not be start with the number. It may start with a small letter, capital letter, or underscore, but it will not be start with, yes, a number. कुठलंही आयडेंटिफायर और कुठलंही नाव हे व्हेरिएबलचं असू देत, फंक्शनचं असू देत किंवा दुसऱ्या कुठल्या कन्सेप्ट असू देत. it will never start with number. So you need to remember this. And it may start with underscore or small letters. It depends. Okay. Again, there is one more important rule. There will not be space between the name of variable or name of function, or like in the identifier. Let's say if I wish to give a name of variable as date of birth. Okay, I'm typing here date of birth. Okay, I can have my identifier name. Let's say this is it is a form of date. हा कुठल्या टाइपचा डेटा आहे? It is of type the variable. It is of type date. Okay, now check. This is not a valid identifier. What is our rule? I don't have, means I cannot create a variable or a name of, or you can say the identifier, which includes such space in between. If you wish to use space or if you wish to differentiate, you need to connect with either underscore, right? This way. Okay. So what it is, it starts with V and it ends with H. There is no any space or there is no any gap in between the identifiers. So you need to remember these three rules. What are those? First, there will not be space present between the identifiers. Second, it will not be starts with, yes, number ni start honar nahi. It can be starts with underscore. Okay. So you need to remember these rules for giving names to the variables, giving name to the function, giving name to the arrays, and other like structure and union. Okay, have you understood this? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, can you take can anybody tell me how many keywords we are having with the C language?
32.
Yes, how many?
32.
32, correct. But in C++, we have total 95 reserved keywords. Okay. As we know, C++ is nothing but incremented set of keywords in the C program. And with this incremented keyword, it has a certain provisions to use or to solve problems. Okay. By using some reserved keywords. And what are those? Like here, I have shown you the list of 95 keywords. If you check, this is 32, 64, and this, if you count it, it is 96. Mistakenly, the AND keyword is repeated here. Okay. So if you have gone through, it is totally 95 reserved keywords are in C++ language. Okay. See this char underscore 32. If you zoom your screen, it is added in the 11th version. This concept, this keyword is added in 20th version, default one. Okay, like this way, it is shown here in the slide. Okay, not necessary we are using all those 95 keywords all the time. Those who which are the basic, it is limited to only those 32, right? 32, and we have some extra set of keywords which are used there in the some calculations. Okay, so we'll go through one by one in the course of this duration of C++ programming language. Okay, but when there is a question, how many reserved keywords are there in the C++ programming language, you should be in position to tell there are 95 reserved keywords in the C++ programming language. And in C, we are having 32 reserved keywords in the C programming language. Okay, now we'll move to one by one. Data type. So data type, if you go through this definition, data type is nothing but See, when you are implementing a program, if you use like if you check your keyboard, there are some numbers, there are some characters, right? So the numbers, to hold those numbers, we are having some container, a structure, or you can say type, which we will call it as a numeric type, and other is of type string. Okay, now in this type, in the numeric type or in the number system, it is divided into two parts. One is the number which is uh, without any decimal or whole number, and second category which includes with decimal point. Okay, now if you check this number system, either it may be in terms of a complete number, that means without decimal, or a number which may include your point. We call it as a decimal. Okay, मग त्याच्यासाठी कुठले टाइप्स डेटा टाइप्स आहेत? If you wish to store a complete or whole number, you will be having integer data type. If you wish to store a value which has a decimal point, okay, so for that we are having the float data type. Float या data type मध्ये तुम्ही decimal number systemच्या values store करू शकता. जर तुमच्याकडे number system means which will not have dot. Okay, like example, I will be right here 1999. This is a complete number, and this is a decimal number. Let's say 99.99 or 50. So to store such kind of value, the float data type is used. To store a complete value or the whole value, the integer data type is used. Okay, now this double, it increases the size to store those numbers. Okay, remember, go for this double. Okay, now the character, see, the example of character, I will write it here, simple A or B or C. Okay, but when you give it, it should be there in the single quote. When you declare a character are always to be declared in the single quote. Okay, to hold such letters, to hold the values, alphabetical values, we are having a character, but when we are going to hold the alphabetical values, this character data type will allow me to store only one value at a time. जर मी character data typeचं व्हेरिएबल डिक्लेअर केलं असेल, तर त्या व्हेरिएबल मध्ये ऍट अ टाइम मी एकच व्हॅल्यू किंवा एकच अल्फाबेट स्टोअर करू शकतो. If I have defined it with character, but if I define a type with character and the array, let's say this is what a name of variable, and this is what open and close square bracket, it indicates I have used the array, and if I given this size as 10, so this a variable is now capable to store a collection of alphabets up to 10. Okay, not necessary I should go with 10, but I can store the value for a variable maximum up to 10 characters. Okay, if I have given this, okay, but this part is now not called it as a character, this we called it as a string. The definition of string is what? Collection of all the characters is nothing but a string. जर एक simple असेल तर त्याला मी character म्हणणार. If there is a collection of character without space or without comma, I will call it as a string. Okay, now have you understood what is character and what is a string? Character कशाला म्हणायचं आणि string कशाला म्हणायचं समजलंय का? Hello.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Okay, character is nothing but a single alphabet only, and string is nothing but collection of all characters. थोडक्यात मराठीत आपण काय म्हणतो, अक्षर. कॅरेक्टर म्हणजे अक्षर आणि स्ट्रिंग म्हणजे शब्द. ओके, अक्षर आता तुम्हाला माहिती आहे की फक्त एकच लेटर असेल तर अक्षर म्हणतो आपण, आणि शब्द म्हणजे काय, कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ ऑल द लेटर्स. ओके, नाउ this is about to store the value of character. Okay, now I will go back to this type only. And for string, we require to be mention the values in the double quote. Okay. Okay, now in the system, okay, in the system somewhere we are going to store this value. Let's say this 1999, this 199.50. These values are if I have declared a variable, it has to be stored somewhere. We have put a store करणार, it depends on your type of a variable. Now, if I declare a type of variable which is of type character, then in the memory, I will have only one byte to store the character type of value. Okay, I will go to the compiler. I will show you. Yes, is screen visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now check. Okay, for that we are using size of operator. Okay, you should know about this. Size of operator is required to show the size which is required to store the character type of value. Okay, now check here, byte, 1 byte. Okay, or you can also make it like this way. Character size, character storage size. Storage size is equal to size of operator. आणि इथे ज्या data type ची, okay, for the data type whose size you wish to know, you need to put it here. Okay, now just now I need to check the size of character, how much byte it is required to store in the memory. Okay, I will write it here. Okay, now check. Character storage size is equal to 1 byte. Okay, now if I wish to check the size required to store the integer type of value, then I will just copy the same sentence, and instead of character, I will type it here as int. Okay, as it goes to the same line. I have not given the /n. Okay, so it will come to the next line. See, for integer type of value, it required to store 4 bytes. Now it depends on your again compiler. Some compiler will show you 32. If you go to the 32-bit, it will show you 2 bytes required to store integer type of value. Similar thing for the float. See, character 1 byte, integer 2 or 4 bytes. It depends on again your compiler. Float 4 bytes. Here again I need to use /n. Okay. So check again for so here everywhere I have mentioned character. Here I will mention integer. Here I will mention it as float. Okay. Are you getting this? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You may take the screenshot of this.
Yes, sir.
Usage of size of operator. Okay. The C++ also support other types of other data types like structure and union and the enumerators. These types we called it as a user-defined type, and those which we are looking now, like character, integer, float, or double. These all are the system-defined types. We cannot change the name of this data type. म्हणजे इथं जर जसं कॅर लिहिलंय, मी हे नुसतं असं CH or only I cannot express with CH, or I cannot change like this way, IT, or I cannot make it as capital INT. Okay, जे काही system defined names आहेत, तर या नावांमध्ये we cannot make any changes because these are the reserved keywords, and the definition of these reserved keywords is mentioned in some of the other library files. हे कुठल्या तरी एका library files मध्ये काय असणार आहे, या फंक्शनची डेफिनेशन ही लिहिलेली असणार आहे. So for that reason we cannot make any changes in the system defined types, but we are allowed to make changes in the name of structure, in name of unions, and the name of enumerators as per our convenience, as they are the user defined types. User defined type मध्ये एक फ्लेक्झिबिलिटी तुम्हाला प्रोव्हाइड केलेली असते, ती म्हणजे की तुम्ही तुमच्या चॉईसचं नाव देऊ शकताय. बट हिअर यू कॅनॉट, इन द सिस्टम डिफाईन टाईप, यू कॅनॉट change, you cannot make any change in the system defined types as it is you need to use in your program. Okay, now we'll move to next slide. Variable is nothing but again the name or is an identifier which is used to represent a single data item. See, I will just read it quickly, and we know because we have used multiple times the variable. Just for the sake, I will just go through it quickly. The data item must be assigned to the variable at some point of time in the program. This data item can be accessed later in the program by simply referring the variable name. All the variable must be declared before they are used in the program. And the syntax for writing for declaration of the variable is data type. That means just now we have seen what are the different data types: character, integer, float, double, or the void. The variable list. Variable, if you check it here, I have not mentioned here as a space. I have made connection underscore. इथे मी underscore दिला, इथे space नाही. This is what one of the rule in the identifiers. It will not allow space. मी असं टाइप करू शकत नाही var वेगळं आणि list वेगळं. I need to connect somehow. Variable list. Why I have taken this as a variable list? I will show you here. See, this is what a variable declaration data type, and again, okay, check here. Okay, where underscore name and assigning the value to the variable. Variable name is equal to expression. It may be expression or it may be a value. I will move to now here. Okay. Okay, now who will tell me how to define, how to declare variable? Variable कसं declare करायचं कोण सांगेल मला? Yes, anyone? I need to have data type. So for that, I'm having integer, character, float, double. बरोबर का? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So out of this, I have selected integer type. And what is the syntax? If you go through here, okay, variable list. I will go to list later. But now, if you can check data type, I have mentioned here as integer. And what is next? A name of variable. So you can give any name of the variable, but you need to follow the rule of identifiers. Variable म्हणजेच काय की तुम्हाला तिथे एक नाव द्यायचंय. म्हणजेच आपल्याला काय करायला लागतील? आयडेंटिफायरचे रूल्स फॉलो करायला लागतील. The name will not be start with any integer, म्हणजे एका व्हॅल्यूने नाव स्टार्ट होणार नाही. दुसरं काय की नावामध्ये स्पेस असणार नाही. हे दोन बेसिक रूल जर तुम्ही फॉलो केले, you can write a variable name. Let's say I will write a variable. It
Not
may be like a,
also.
any. It may be a single character or like if I write it here, addition. Okay, it may be like anything. तुम्ही व्हेरिएबलचं नाव हे काही पण देऊ शकता. It may be a single character or it may be like a complete word. But take precaution, स्पेस त्याच्यामध्ये असणार नाही आणि नंबर्सने सुरू होणार नाही. ओके, दिस इज वी कॉल्ड इट एज अ डिक्लेरेशन ऑफ व्हेरिएबल. आता सेकंड पॉइंट काय आहे? असाइनिंग व्हॅल्यूज. इथे मी डिक्लेअर केला व्हेरिएबल ए. I can assign value to those variable. Let's say 10. Now, how to read it? Variable a is of type integer. How you are going to read this line? Not int a. Int a is there for writing this line. But if you wish to read this line, a variable a is of type integer. So I must pass the value of type integer only. यावरून मला काय कळते लाईन नंबर 6 वरून की a हा व्हेरिएबल हा कुठल्या टाइपचा आहे? इंटिजर टाइपचा आहे. तर त्याला मी कुठली व्हॅल्यू द्यायला पाहिजे? इंटिजर टाइपची. लेट्स से हियर instead of int, I may take this as a float b, and here as when I read this line b, I have declared a variable b which is of type, yes, float. So I must pass the value for b like this way, 10.15, or it may any value, it may be any value, but the decimal should be there. Okay, येतंय लक्षात? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how to read it again? A variable which is of type integer. So when I'm going to pass the value for variable a, then I must pass the value of type integer. Now go to line number 8. How to read it? B variable which is of type float, and when it is of type float, I must pass the value for b variable of type float, or which is contain the decimal values. Okay, now in the latter phase we have come to know, come across one statement. See, once it is declared, it can be accessed in the program. When I declare a is equal to 10, I can access a is equal to 10 within this open curly bracket and close curly bracket n number of times. मी कितीही वेळेस या ओपन आणि क्लोज कर्ली ब्रॅकेट मध्ये a ची व्हॅल्यू 10 ही मी यूज करू शकतो. ओके, सो दिस इज व्हॉट द मीनिंग. नाउ दिस इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. Okay, just a minute. One second. Okay. If you read it, all variable must be declared before they are used in the program. Now, just check what happens if I go to here, see out, and if I wish to print the value of a. See what it gives me an error like A was not declared in this scope. A was not declared in the scope. पण आपण A declare केलाय. कुठे declare केलाय? We have declared A at a wrong place. So what is the meaning? Before calling the values of a variable, we must have to declare it. Okay, now I have declared A. Also, I have initialized the value of A, and here I am calling the value of A variable. Okay, so it gives me the value of A variable. Okay, समजतंय का?
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning? ज्यावेळेस तुम्ही यूज करताय एखाद्या व्हेरिएबलची व्हॅल्यू यूज करताय म्हणजे तुम्ही कॉल करताय ती व्हॅल्यू किंवा एखादा सपोज ऍडिशन और इफ देर इज लाईक ऍडिशन और अरिथमॅटिक ऑपरेशन्स और एनी अदर लॉजिकल ऑपरेशन्स हे जर तुम्ही प्रोग्राम मध्ये यूज करत असाल, लेट्स से हियर इफ a is less than a is less than b. Okay, and here is some condition. Now if you are using this any expression which includes the variable a or variable b, as both we have not declared, see it will, this code will raise me an error. I have not found what is a. So for this you need to declare before using those variables in the program. This is very important. Before using the variable in the program, you must declare and initialize. Okay, see for initialization either you can go with this way or here declaration and the initialization itself इथेच तुम्ही डिक्लेअर आणि इनिशियलाइज पण करू शकता किंवा इथे तुम्ही नुसतं डिक्लेअर करा and use cin. Okay, cin for a आणि तुम्ही इकडून कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट वरून म्हणजे आउटपुट वरून ही व्हॅल्यू a या व्हेरिएबलची इन करून घ्या आणि ती यूज करा. ओके, so it totally depends on you for initialization, but the variable must be declared before it used in the program. Okay, so this is very important point. Now operators, there are operators. See, there are as before we have also discussed, there are two parts: unary operators and binary operators. Okay, unary operators म्हणजेच काय की एका ऑपरेंड वरती एक्झिक्यूट करतात. बायनरी ऑपरेटर्स means it require minimum two operands. Okay, now with example we will tell, but before this can you tell me some examples of arithmetic operators? Yes, can you tell me some example of arithmetic operators? Anyone?
Addition plus.
Correct, I will mention it here. Addition.
Subtraction.
Yes, fast. Once addition is clear, that
Division,
means along with
multiplication.
addition we have three more.
Reason.
Correct. Multiplication, division. Okay, along with this we are having two more. These are the unary, plus
Increment, decrement.
and minus. This plus is there for increment and this minus is there for decrement. These two are the unary operators. यांना फक्त एकच ऑपरेंड असेल तर वर्क करतात. आणि हे जे काय आहेत प्लस मायनस डिव्हिजन मल्टिप्लिकेशन, दीज आर द बायनरी ऑपरेटर्स. म्हणजे यांना कमीत कमी दोन ऑपरेटर्स लागतात, एक लेफ्ट हँड साइडला आणि एक राईट हँड साइडला. एक लेफ्ट हँड साइडला फॉर मायनस अँड राईट हँड साइड. तसंच आता हे युनरी म्हणजेच काय की यांना फक्त जर मला इन्क्रीमेंट करायची असेल एखाद्या व्हेरिएबलची व्हॅल्यू, सी आय विल राईट ओनली दॅट व्हेरिएबल नेम प्लस a or minus a. It works only on this one operand. So the value of a incremented here, and in this case value of a is decremented. But for addition I require minimum two variables or two values. This is first operand a and this is second operand b. Similarly for minus, multiplication, and the division. Okay, I will move to next slide. There I have mentioned in the table. See, this plus is nothing but addition, minus minus into multiplication, division, increment and decrement. Okay, now the next, relational or the logical operators. See, if you go through the definition, the word relational refers to the relationship that the value can have with one another. Here also, you require to have minimum 2 operands. This we called it as a binary operators. Okay, so here what are the relational operators are there? You have my less than equal to, greater than equal to, equal to. See, there is a difference. Okay, I will tell you. And this is not equal to. Exclamatory sign and equal to is nothing but not equal to. This and, okay, I'll make it as a central line. And is nothing but a logical and operator. 2 vertical lines are nothing but logical operators, and this is nothing but a logical not operator. Okay. Very important here to note, the expression using relational or the logical operator returns 0 when the result is false, and it returns 1 when the result is true. Okay. Okay. For relational and logical operators, you need to remember very important line. The expressions using in the relational and logical operators returns 0, and when it is false. For an example, I will show you one demo here. Okay, so as I declared int a is equal to, let's say, 10. Is screen visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, just look at the screen. Don't try to implement because we have less time. Okay, now here I have initialized and declared a is equal to 10 and b is equal to 20. What we are going to look, we are going to understand the meaning of this sentence. For expression using relational, or see, I will take the example of relational and I will take one example from the logical operator. When it will write output as 0 when the condition is false, and it will write output as 1 when the condition is true. Okay, now check. Okay, I will take C out. Is greater than 20. See, if you check the output this the second nite, what is the output?
0.
0. Are you getting the meaning? See, for
Yes, sir.
relational, this greater than or less than, this is a part of, yes, relational operator. Okay, it is a part of relational operator. So if it is false, it will give you 0. Now, instead of 20, let's say I'm comparing only the variable b. Okay, again it will give me the 0 because now a is less than b. This condition is true, correct? He
1.
condition true hai ka? Correct. So it is true. When I run the program, it gives me 1, output 1. Yete lakshat?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now I will give one more example related with logical operators. So what are those logical operators? Logical and, logical or, and logical not. Logical and I will go first. I'm giving only one example, sample example here. Okay, I will take one more here variable. C is equal to, let's say, 30. What I'm going to check here, true condition. Okay, this is true. And B is less than or A is less than C. Okay, both are the true. Logical AND meaning काय की the left hand side condition must be true आणि ही right hand side condition. If both are the true, then it will return only the true value. जर ह्या दोघांपैकी जर एक कंडिशन फॉल्स असेल लेफ्ट साइड और राइट हँड साइडची, सो याचा रिझल्ट काय येणार? फॉल्स येणार. Okay, I will mark here as double inverted comma slash n. I will move to next line. Check. Now in this case, the condition is true. Both the conditions are true, so it will write 1 for true. Now check here. I will make one condition false. A is greater than C. This condition is false. So now here it will return 0. Okay. Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is for today. Detail the programs for this part will go. I have created some problem statement, but we will look it by tomorrow. So this is for today's discussion. Thank you.